This is war. A quiet debate over football greatness sparks a fire no one could have predicted. Two nations, Cameroon and Ivory Coast, divided by one question. Who's the greatest African striker of all time? Samuel Eto'o or Didier Drogba? The rivalry wasn't just about football, it was about identity, pride, and history. The question divided streets, families, and entire nations. But one thing became clear. This was no longer just a football debate. Could this simple question spark something much bigger, something dangerous? It started innocently, as these things often do. The debate erupted in a cozy cafe tucked away in the bustling streets of Douala, Cameroon, where fans from both Cameroon and Ivory Coast had gathered for the evening's football match. Amidst the clinking of glasses and the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, a spirited conversation began. A Cameroonian fan, proudly sporting an Eto'o jersey, passionately recounted Samuel Eto'o's achievements. Four-time African Player of the Year, Champions League winner, Olympic gold medalist. There's no contest. Across the table, an Ivorian supporter countered with, "No contest." Drogba is a national hero. He didn't just win trophies, he stopped a war. Eto'o could never. The cafe was full of excitement and became the starting point for this big argument. As people got louder and disagreed more, the fun chat turned into a heated debate. It spread fast from the cafe to social media, where it grabbed the attention of millions all over Africa. Social media exploded. Hashtag Team Eto'o and hashtag Team Drogba trended worldwide. What began as friendly banter quickly spiraled into an all-out verbal war. Memes turned into insults and insults turned into anger. The debate wasn't about football anymore. It was about pride, national pride. Then, things took a dangerous turn as political leaders seized the moment to stoke nationalistic pride. An Ivorian minister declared, "Disrespect to Drogba is disrespect to Ivory Coast itself," while Cameroonian officials fired back, vowing to defend Eto'o's legacy. Public demonstrations erupted, with crowds pouring into the streets and rival fans clashing violently. The tension spilled across borders, igniting rallies among the whole continent of Africa, where local pubs turned into battlegrounds for the heated debate. Historical grievances tied to African disputes over resources and borders resurfaced, amplifying the stakes. Whispers of military action began circulating, and border troops were put on alert. What had started as a football rivalry had spiraled into a full-blown political crisis. Then the unthinkable began to unfold. Troops along the borders of Cameroon and Ivory Coast were mobilizing, their ranks swelling with soldiers prepared for battle. Tanks rumbled into position, their imposing shadows cutting across the dusty roads, while supply trucks carried crates of ammunition and heavy artillery. Reports surfaced of generals on both sides issuing rallying cries, urging their troops to defend their nation's honor with every ounce of strength. In villages near the border, civilians evacuated in fear, leaving behind homes and livelihoods as the drumbeat of war grew louder. Rumors spread like wildfire. Elite units were being deployed and both nations were readying their air forces. It was as if decades of dormant tensions had erupted overnight, with the beautiful game now a dangerous excuse for an impending catastrophe. The world held its breath. Could two nations really go to war over a game? But then, as the situation teetered on the edge, the unthinkable happened. Eto'o picked up his phone and called Drogba. The connection wasn't easy. Eto'o had to go through their mutual friend, Wesley Sneijder, to make it happen. Sneijder, who had formed a bond with Eto'o during their Champions League triumph at Inter Milan and later became a trusted teammate of Drogba at Galatasaray, stepped in as a mediator. His unique position of trust with both legends was key. "Didier, this is madness," Eto'o said. Our people are tearing each other apart. We need to do something." Speaking from his home in Cameroon, while Drogba sat in his office in Abidjan, the two icons recognized the gravity of the situation. They reflected on their shared experiences, like representing Africa at the 2006 World Cup, where they carried the hopes of a continent. Drogba agreed, his voice steady but resolute. "Football is supposed to unite us, Samuel, not divide us. Let's fix this before it's too late." Together, they understood that their legacy could be one of peace rather than conflict, and the plan to heal the rift was set into motion. Are you enjoying this video? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing content on African heroes just like this. The very next day, both men appeared on national TV in their respective countries. Eto'o, calm but firm, addressed his people. "My dear Cameroonians, I am proud of your passion, but this is not the way. Drogba is my brother. I respect him deeply, just as I respect you. Let us stop this madness and focus on what truly matters, our unity as Africans." In Ivory Coast, Drogba's message was just as powerful. "To my fellow Ivorians, I know you love me, and I love you. But this debate is meaningless if it divides us. Eto'o is a legend, a man I admire greatly. Let's celebrate football, not use it to harm one another." Their words struck a chord. Social media, once a battlefield, became a platform for healing. New hashtags emerged. Hashtag United for Football, hashtag African Legends, hashtag Eto'o and Drogba. The anger began to fade. And then, the final act unfolded at the Stade de l'Amitié in Cotonou, Benin, a neutral ground chosen to symbolize unity. A charity match brought Eto'o and Drogba together on the same pitch, transforming the stadium into a festival of African spirit. Fans from both nations, joined by others from across the continent, filled the stands, waving flags not as rivals, but as brothers and sisters. The stadium was draped in the vibrant colors of Cameroon and Ivory Coast, alongside the symbolic green of Africa. Before kickoff, the two legends stood side by side, their presence a powerful symbol of reconciliation. Drogba spoke first, his voice resonating with purpose. "Football is the heart of Africa, but our unity is its soul." Eto'o added, "Today we show the world what Africa is truly about." The match itself was a spectacle, filled with goals, laughter, and cheers that echoed with hope. But it wasn't the scoreline that mattered. It was the message. Unity, respect, and love for the game took center stage, reminding everyone that football could transcend borders and heal divisions. In the end, the question of who was the greatest striker, Eto'o or Drogba, remained beautifully unanswered, and perhaps that was the point. Heroes aren't defined by singular achievements, but by moments of humanity. Eto'o and Drogba didn't just stop a war, they reminded us why we love football, for its power to unite, inspire, and heal. The charity match, which raised funds for youth football programs across Africa, became a testament to this idea. As fans left the stadium, waving flags and sharing smiles, there was a palpable sense of triumph, not in deciding the greatest player, but in celebrating the greatness of African spirit and unity. Through football, they had transcended borders, healed wounds, and shown the world what it truly means to come together. So, who's the greatest? You decide. But one thing is certain, when Africa comes together, we all win. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing content.